Welcome, everyone. We are here for Ashley's Heart Song. This is the place where we let go of the stress and get back into our body, our life, and our business. Because let's face it, y'all, life can pull us off track. But when we are in tune with the song of our heart, the rhythm of your being, when we're in tune with that, everything else just falls into place. This is the Three Brains approach to getting back into alignment: head brain, heart brain, and gut brain. And today we have a very, very, very special guest. I'm so happy that all of you are here. We've got a great guest. We have Amy Lemire with Be Empowered Wellness joining us today. And I want to welcome Amy in. I'm going to read you just a little bit about Amy, so that you can know her from the professional standpoint. And then when she comes on camera, you're going to go, wow, because I tell you what, I just love this girl so much. I have known her for several years, and she is just a joy in my life. And I love, love, love having her and doing life with her, right? So Amy Lemire is a wellness educator, a Young Living brand partner for over 7 years, and founder of Be Empowered Wellness. Don't you just love that name? Because it's not B-E, it's B-E-E. Be Empowered Wellness is a community dedicated to empowering individuals through wellness education that combines the benefits of essential oils with practical lifestyle habits from a variety of disciplines. The name B-E-E, Empowered Wellness, is inspired by the symbolism of the honeybee. With its wisdom, creativity, and ability to make a big impact despite its small size, this amazing creature has become a tangible symbol of her goal to empower others. Amy's wellness journey began 9 years ago when she was introduced to essential oils and health options beyond Western medicine. The discoveries that followed forever changed her and her family's approach to health and wellness and have impacted nearly every aspect of their lifestyle. The knowledge she gained empowered her to take charge of her and her family's health and wellness, and continues to inspire her to make this knowledge and power of choice accessible to everyone. Is that just not amazing? So help me welcome, where did she go? Hold on a minute. There she is. Help me welcome Amy Lemire. Welcome, Amy. So happy you're here with me today.
Glad you found me and all these wonderful people watching. We have a nice group.
That was so fun to have to wait. Where'd she go?
I'm hiding over here.
Thrilled you are with us today. So Amy, to get started, I love your background with the little bee, the honey bee in back. Yes, and you also are wearing a beautiful necklace that represents it. So evidently bees mean something to you. So can you share with us when that first hit you, struck you?
Yeah. Well, so everything, there's different sections to the journey. The oils portion of the journey started 9 years ago. When I was introduced to some essential oils while I was pregnant, and I had never heard of essential oils before, never really was aware that there were alternatives to what we find at a drugstore for our health and wellness. And through trying those oils and seeing success, like within minutes and hours of using those products, my eyes were kind of opened to options. And so I began to explore that a little bit by little bit. Through the years, began to look into other aspects of nutrition and fitness and health and wellness, and discovering things for myself, seeing that there were alternative choices when it came to diet and the way that I ate, and things began to change for me in my life. And I also, after I sort of got through some physical hurdles, I began to look at my spiritual life, my emotional life, and started to learn about the honeybee and its symbolism in the Bible, and particularly with the prophetess Deborah in the Old Testament. And I found out how much I just loved her character, her life, her story, what she did a lot of in-depth study on her, and realized her name means honeybee. And that was a symbol for me that I could just grab onto. Absolutely loved that. And then I have an art background. That's where my college training came from in graphic design. And so this idea of this honeybee created with oil drops came to me. And so that became, I almost thought of the logo first, the symbolism first. Some of you guys that know me know I'm very visual. So that visual came to me first. And then I was so empowered by the things I was learning. I decided that I needed a name for what I was creating other than just being a Young Living brand partner. To me, that sounds kind of boring. It's very important, but it's a little boring. So I needed something bigger that was more about what I had to share and to include other things that I wanted to share as well. So I think it was summer of 2021 that I came up with the idea for Be Empowered Wellness. And that has just been able to let me expand and share and do even more and have that symbol to encourage me to move forward.
That is so beautiful. So for those that are also in a business, because this is your business, and so others who are on that business track, it sounds like this inspiration that you received from the honeybee was years after you had started your business, right? So did you notice a difference in your business and the track and trajectory it was taking once you became inspired by the symbol? Did you notice anything different?
Yeah, for sure. I did. I noticed that I had a specific direction and something that was uniquely mine. I came up with the idea after attending a watch party for Young Living's convention that summer. The convention was completely virtual, and so they had watch parties, and I was able to go to one. And being around all of those people, I was inspired by what they had done. Other people sharing essential oils knowledge as well. I was inspired by them and knew that I needed something uniquely my own, because I had not only my oils knowledge, but everything else I was experiencing in life and learning from you, Ashley, learning from other people, that I could sort of group it all went together. It was all pieces of one puzzle. And I wanted to be able to share that in a cohesive way. So it gave me an identity, launched me forward, and just gave me something that was sort of mine that I could share.
Yeah. Wow. That is so inspiring, because we are multifaceted, right? We aren't just cookie cutter, right? So for any of you out there who are starting a business or in the middle of your business, but you find that you're a little stuck, take a page from Amy's book and be open to that one thing that just inspires you and latches on to you, right? It's not you latching on to something. It's the honeybee stung Amy and wouldn't let go, right? Well, we don't want the honeybee to sting, but you know what I mean? It was like the bee found you. You didn't find the bee found you. So beautiful. So Amy, I want to know, how did you find the essential oils? Like, essential oils have been around for centuries, and and they've been around for quite a long time, but what happened? What was that moment when you went, oh, this is my direction I want to go in?
Yeah. So from a wellness perspective, it actually started with my husband, which is a little bit ironic. If you're in the community of oils, often that it's the men in the family that takes them the longest to come around to some of these ideas. But I was pregnant with my second child at the time, and he had injured his foot. And that is a very long story, but he needed something to aid with the healing of his foot and the muscles in his foot. And we were introduced to an oil. That oil is called Panaway, and it's a blended oil. And that oil, when he applied that to his foot, it enabled him to get the healing process going in a way that other things he had tried hadn't before. So we tried this, and the childbirth instructor actually handed him this during a class because he was limping around the class, and he should have been helping his large pregnant wife, and said he's limping, and it looked really funny. So she gave that to him, and he tried that, and it worked. So we're through this process, pregnancy process, and I was avoiding over-the-counter medications and things like that, as many women do while they're pregnant. And my back, had a lot of back pain. I was very uncomfortable, lower back pain, and I didn't want to take anything for it. But at the same time, I really couldn't walk around very much for a long time. And again, the same wonderful woman, she suggested cedarwood essential oil. She's worked as a doula for a time. She's very knowledgeable in what is pregnancy safe and what is not. And so I trusted her, and she suggested cedarwood essential oil. And I remember putting that oil on my back. We were about to go shopping for a day, walk around, have a good day. And I'm like, I can't do it. It hurts too much. I put this on and I walked that entire day. I was comfortable. And I remember that day. I think I even remember what sidewalk and what stores we were walking down, what shopping center. I remember that. And that was something that opened the door for me and said, there's more to this, than you're seeing here. These are options that you can have. And having had challenges in the regular medical system and, trust and confusion and not sure which direction to go, I needed some other options. I didn't feel it. I felt powerless, really. And so by looking at essential oils, and it was a very slow process. It took me like a year and a half to really get comfortable using them, to start learning, getting resources, books, adding one oil at a time and learning. And now, I can't, there's probably not hundreds of different ones in my house. I'm not sure how many bottles are in my house. But having, dozens of oils at my disposal to be able to solve a variety of challenges that come across during my day. Yesterday is a great example. We were sitting in church and my oldest daughter told me she had a headache, and she doesn't usually get headaches. And so I'm like, as a mom, okay, you okay? Anything else bothering you? What's going on? Okay. No, just my head hurts. Okay. Well, first thing and the why I say be empowered wellness is essential oils and a variety of other disciplines is because the first thing I said to her is, how much water have you had this morning? I'm like, you might be dehydrated. Go get some water. So she did. And, she drank the water and she, but it still hurts. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to sit up and pay attention. We're here in church. It wasn't like you got to go lay down, you're writhing in pain. And so I start to look in my bag, and I always keep about 5 or 6 oils in my purse at all times. And the one that I would have used for her is a blend called Deep Relief. It's kind of a go-to for things like that. But it was dry. The bottle was dry and I knew I had needed to replace it. I hadn't done it. So I'm like, well, what else can I use? And we settled upon an oil. I actually handed her each bottle and I said, smell each one of these and tell me which one you think right now, do you like the most? Do you feel like would be the most beneficial for you? And of course, she's accustomed to using these in her everyday life. So she didn't think I was that crazy. So I'm handing her these very discreetly in the pew in church. And she settles upon this oil, Valor, which is typically an emotional support oil, but recently learned that this blend of oils can be great for helping with seasonal challenges and seasonal changes. And I thought, well, let's see how this goes. And she decided on that one. And I gave her the bottle and I said, hun, you can just hold it and you can smell it. You can do what we call the scent tent, where you put a drop in your hand and you can breathe in. You can be very discreet about it. You can pat it on your neck. You can rub it on your forehead, whatever you want to do. And she sat there for about 15 minutes and kind of played with her oil and sat there. And by the end of the church service, no headache. Wow. Back to normal. Nothing else for the rest of the day. Just fine. So I'm like, phew, all right, we're good.
Good. Yeah. Talk about empowerment. So we're in our Age Gracefully series, right? And empowerment was our language for today. And doesn't that feel good as a mom? You just empowered your daughter on how to help herself feel better by simply allowing her to choose, right, which oil it was instead of instructing her. So empowerment comes in such beautiful packages, in just by being empowered to make a choice, being empowered to feel confident in, like your empowerment. You were confident that, oh, she has a headache. All right. Water, honey. Are you drinking water? Right. So we educate ourselves in health, in our own physical body. So in this show, it's all about mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health, right? Spiritual fitness, and us being fit in every one of those areas. And when we learn how our body operates, like you're learning how the body operates in conjunction with the essential oils and how the essential oils empower the body, we can be so empowered by so many things when we just understand how everything functions. So, wow, what a gift you just gave to your daughter, Amy.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
what a Yeah,
And
yes, yes, yes.
Ashley, you'll appreciate that I did ask her. I asked her to check in with her emotions as well. And I asked her, did anything different happen in Sunday school? Like, did anyone say anything? She's like, no.
No.
We did have an emotional check-in as well.
I love that. Physical check-in with the hydration, emotional check-in with anything happening feeling wise. And then finally, it's just a headache.
Let's just get out the oils and do something about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to put a little umbrella around this, that anything that Amy and I talk about today, when it comes to essential oils or any methods that I use, anything at all this is about supporting the body's ability to take care of itself. When we present tools like this to the physical body, through the emotional center, through the sensorial center, then we can impact our body and help support our body to help itself through a challenging time. So that is what this conversation is all about, is just empowering ourselves with our body to do just that. So Amy, how about, your daughter came to you with a headache and you had several oils that she could choose from. So what's another everyday complaint that people have that you have found that you've been able to help them with essential oils? Right.
Well, yeah, I think so. We're talking about aging gracefully. So I think a great one that comes into mind is sleep. A lot of people struggle with sleep, either falling asleep, and we know how key that is to our health in general, but also in aging, and it can be a challenge as people get older. And of course, the first thing when someone talks to me about sleep, they're having trouble sleeping, I ask them if they understand why they're not sleeping. Some people know that it's because they have racing thoughts. Some people know that maybe there's pain involved. People have different reasons. Maybe it's the clock of their schedule that they're on. So people have different reasons of why they may not be sleeping well. And so if they do know what the cause is, that's a lot easier to look at, because different essential oils will help with the different aspects of the sleep process. Cedar wood, for example, actually helps the body to absorb the melatonin that it naturally creates. So if someone feels like that is a challenge that they're having, or they take a melatonin supplement, then that's one that they can add in to help support their body's absorption of that melatonin, which we know aids in sleep. Lavender is classically known for relaxation. Some people use it for relaxation in the daytime, so they're not looking for actual sleep. They use it for stress relief as well. But when you combine that with something like cedarwood, you really get a kind of perfect sort of combination where people can use those to work together. There's some blends. There's a blend called Sacred Mountain. And that is a blend, and I don't recall what's in it at the moment, but one of my personal favorite blends for sleep, just as an overall calming, relaxing. It is such a luxurious aroma that this blend has in it. It also comes in a soap as well, a bar soap, which I love to use in the shower. But just so, and I know there's intent is involved in essential oils as well. So one of the things that I think of is I have this oil blend that I think is beautiful and relaxing. I have the intent that this is going to help me to sleep, and this is going to be the oil that I use for my sleep support. So that's what I have on my bedside table, and that is what I use. But there are a wide variety of oils and oil blends that are great to aid in people getting a good night's sleep, falling asleep. They're easy to use if you're diffusing is a classic way to use essential oils for aromatic support while you're sleeping. Put them in a diffuser while you go to bed. But sometimes people's partners don't appreciate that as much as they do. And so the wonderful thing about essential oils is you can put them on the bottoms of your feet. They're absorbed that way. You can also put them along your spine. You can put them, most of them you can put topically just about anywhere. But for sleep, you can put them on the bottoms of your feet, on your spine, and then you're the only one. You're probably not even going to smell them if they're on your feet. Which again, I think it's a little bit of a bummer, but you're still getting, your body's getting the physical support because essential oils are made of very, very small molecules. You think about something like olive oil, that's a fatty oil, large molecules. You think of it's like sort of oily, greasy feeling. But essential oils are not fatty oils. They are able to absorb into our skin very quickly, into our bloodstream. So even if it's on the bottoms of your feet, that's going to be in your bloodstream very quickly throughout your body to provide you with the support that you need.
That is truly magical when you think about it, right? That it can go through into our system that quickly. I mean, it's like, wow, why haven't we been using these more, right? If it's that efficient. And I know that there are some essential oils that you can swallow, but that's what I love about essential oils because I take supplements.
Mhm.
And, I mean, I take enough. I don't want to swallow anymore. So when it comes, I just love that I can topically use
Yes.
essential oils and I don't have to swallow anything. And I get as good a results with that as I would if I had swallowed something.
Yes. And really the only difference is the time lapse in the absorption. So they say if you take it internally, it's the fastest, topically second, and then aromatically, if you're breathing that in, that's the third. But I think even breathing, it's like 20 minutes, it's throughout your whole body. So it's still, it's pretty quick, even if you're breathing it in.
Yeah.
What was very interesting, I attended some training a few weeks ago about supporting a healthy liver. And it was talking about which oils could be taken to support a healthy liver, but that you could also apply them topically over your liver to provide support as well. So just like what you were saying about being able to apply it topically, you can do that as well if you feel like you've had enough of supplements.
Right. I love my supplements, however.
And I like that there's a variety of options too, right? So if you want to do something topically, supplement wise, I mean, some of them you can even put in your water and drink it. So
True that. Yeah. Yeah. Super fun. Super fun. Well, Amy, there is something that you have started. Like, I want to talk about two things that I know that you do that I think are truly, truly fascinating. And the first one I wanted to speak to is something that you do for me. I hold a retreat 4 times a year in the Red River Valley. And you have come out there and you have taught a bottling your aura class is what we called it. And it was really all about frequency. So I'd like to talk about that one first, and then we're going to go into that other one that was also really cool.
okay.
But can you just share just a little bit about frequency? I think this goes right along with our aging gracefully and empowerment, because the way we feel at any given time either gives us wrinkles or gives us smiles, right? So, so if you can go a little bit into what you provide, that I think that's a fabulous course.
Okay.
That you could share. Yeah.
Sure. So Ashley actually introduced me to the whole concept of frequencies through her classes. And we talked a lot about the frequencies of music. So I guess it is megahertz is what they're measured in. We talked about love frequencies in music, peace, joy, all of these different frequencies and the frequencies at which our bodies are healthiest at. So this intrigued me because I know that essential oils have been measured scientifically for frequencies. Young Living actually has an official chart of about, I think, 20 to 30 of their blended oils that they have measured in a lab to see what the frequency of these oils are. And I had, back 2017, 2018, I was doing a class, like a workshop on how to create your own. At that time, we were calling it making your own perfume. And I like to avoid the word perfume because in ingredient term, that's a negative word, toxin term. But we were making our own personal aromas, and we decided on the word auras for Ashley's program. But we were learning how to blend essential oils in the same scientific way that the perfume industry blends their fragrances. So I had learned all the science of blending already. I already had that. And so we thought, well, what if I combine that with the science of frequencies and see what type of essential oil blends we can create that and how they coordinate with the frequencies of love and peace and joy. And those frequencies start in, well, I think like the 300 range and go all the way up into the 500 range. And so we did a lot of learning about that. Did some research about the body, the human body. And I think it's at a frequency of 54 is, I think, our line, or 56 is where health and illness start to play in. So we want to stay above that line. Fresh foods have higher frequencies than canned foods they measure. our words, what we say, our positive words and positive emotions have higher frequencies than negative words and negative emotions. Ashley shared with me our emotional spiral chart, which helps us understand the positive and negative emotions and frequencies. So there was no direct science that I could find that really lumped it all together. So I used my best high school science fair mind to try to smush it all together. And I was able to research the key essential oils in making that we use for blending and to make aromas, and figure out at least their frequency range, if not their exact frequency. Young Living's essential oils in general are at about the frequency of 80 and higher. Some go up as high as about 300, depending on what plant they're made from, where they're grown, what environmental factors fit in there. So we were able to find a range for these. And the fragrances, aromas that we make are usually blended with 3 essential oils: a top note, a middle note, and I think we call them a base note. Anyway, a lot of science in blending there. We find science of blending with science of frequencies. And then as part of the workshop for Ashley, she teaches us to come up with words that we stand firm in. They might be love, joy, peace, compassion, ease, balance, all these wonderful words. And they all have frequencies assigned to them as well. So what we did is we kind of played around with it, and in just smelling the oils and deciding which ones we liked and blending them together, could come up with a formula that we then put the numbers together, did a little math to see what number we came up with. And it was uncanny how often, let's just say somebody's aura number, their fragrance number that they came up with, let's just say it was like 250. And I'm going on memory here. And let's just say that 250 was compassion. And that was what they had been focusing on at the workshop. That was what they were working on, is what smelled right to them that day was what they were working on. And then we kind of did the same thing again, but backwards, by picking our word first. So looking at love or joy or I think dedication, things like that. And then trying to build our scent, our aura based on that word. So we worked from the oils to the number, and then we worked from the numbers to the oils. It's a lot of back and forth, but it's a lot of fun. It's a little confusing. It's a lot of fun, and it's fascinating to see where you end up and how that is with your emotional state, with your emotional goals. It's very interesting. I think it's really cool.
It was super fun in that what you had said about, the word that they're working on, then all of a sudden the oils that they put together equaled that, because that's what they were feeling in the moment. Mm-hmm. So how we feel in any given moment is so powerful, and we attract what we're feeling. So that activity that you brought to us was just so much fun. And you leave with this perfume that when you first smell it, not perfume, aura, that when you first smell it, you go, okay, yeah, I think that's good. But then when it like sits in the bottle for a day, you put it on the next morning, you go, oh my gosh, I love this scent. This is so me. So it's such a fabulous class that you offer, Amy, and the education around the emotion with it, the frequencies that we give off. It's just so beautiful. Great class.
Thank you. Yeah. And I love that once everyone has identified those key, sometimes it's 3 to 6 oils that have resonated with them, they can then take those and do so much with that. They go and get those individual oils, applying those throughout their life, through all areas of wellness, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. And heck, you can also make some great bubble bath too. So, I mean,
right.
It really is. What more could you ask for? I mean,
no, I know. Yeah, you can feel good all day long. Feel good, feel in alignment, feel the resonance of, yeah, so beautiful. So that, and your next workshop that I want to speak about. So you have all of these offerings that are just really cool and what I love most about them is you educate inside your programs. So Amy is not just about, getting the oils in people's hands. She's about really, that Be Empowered Wellness is what Amy stands for. It is really about educating people so they can be empowered in their own health journey. And one of the ways that she does this is I want you to talk about your kids' emotional wellness workshop. This is phenomenal. And so if you'll share how you got that started and the impact that it's having on the kids that are doing it, that would be great.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yes. So, let's see. My first inspiration for this, well, first I have kids. I have two elementary and middle school aged kiddos. And as everyone did in the past, 4 years, a lot has happened in the world, and that has impacted our kids and us as well. So I started to notice different things with my kids, and maybe their stress levels changing, and started to work more with them with their emotional support with essential oils. And then Ashley, of course, also teaches emotional resolution. And she's taught me how to do that for myself, and gave me the green light to do that with my own kids and to help share that with them in the way that they can understand that. And so I started teaching them how to feel their emotions in their body and how to relate to that. I noticed that for my kids, I have to kind of meet them where they are and figure out what is working for them. So I started working with my kids. And then Young Living has a line of essential oils that are called Kid Scents. And I also kind of call them essential oils for dummies because they're so easily labeled as to what they're good for. It's wonderful. They are great for adults and kids, but they're pre-diluted for kids, easy to use. The set covers physical, emotional, mental. It covers everything in this one set. And Young Living has brightly colored and labeled each one of these oils. And I don't think that the colors actually mean anything on, it looks just a beautiful packaging. And I saw, wow, this is beautiful. And I wonder, I love colors. I know kids love colors. How can I put this together in a class for kids? And some time passed, it actually like 6 months passed, and I was trying to put together something for kids. And I don't even remember, I must have gotten the idea, Ashley, from something that we had said in one of your classes with colors. I don't know what we were doing. I don't remember exactly, but started working with my youngest in colors and figuring out what was her happy color. She understands colors really well. And so she would be very grumpy, very moody. And I would ask her, okay, well, do you feel like a color? And she would say, I feel green. She didn't want to feel green. And there was never a wrong answer of the color. And I would be like, well, what color do you want to feel? And she'd like, well, I want to feel pink. And so similarly to how Ashley has taught emotional resolution and letting our physical sensations leave our body, I just walked her through, okay, well, you're green, you want to be pink. Let's walk through all that green leaving your body and it filling up with pink. So we kind of made up some of our own color techniques. We began to associate the colors with essential oils, not necessarily the Kid Scents essential oils, but just any of the essential oils that she enjoyed. There were other techniques such as identifying what colors connected with what emotions, what scents for her, the essential oils connected with what emotions. We came up with some hands-on activities, craft activities, sensorial activities that were working with that. And I said, okay, I need to share this. These are the building blocks of a workshop for us. So what I have now is what I call a kids emotional wellness workshop. And I've done a video where I explain my thoughts about letting go and getting rid of emotions that weigh us down. I have a whole sand pail and rocks, bucket and sand demonstration that I do. And then I go through that video, let the kids watch the video, and then they have different stations. We have 5 or 6 stations that include identifying their happy colors, the colors that make them feel brave, that make them feel encouraged, peaceful, calm, and then also the colors they don't like. And then we go through and we identify the oils that make them feel brave and calm and encouraged and energized, all of those different things. And it's real funny to watch kids because they're so honest. And I have oils on cotton balls in plastic containers in order to keep it safe and the oils from not getting spilled. It's very kid proof. And they'll go through and they'll be like, or, ooh. I mean, they're so honest. And it's very interesting to see that what kids will always navigate sort of almost towards the same grouping of oils, but it does change seasonally as well. Like for a while, everybody's into the citrus ones, or everyone's into these. So it's very interesting. So they go through, they identify those two things. They kind of end up with a couple of happy colors, a couple of happy oils, just to simplify it. And we go through and they get to create aroma lava bead necklaces, diffuser necklaces, where that are the color of their happy color bead. They can put an drop of oil on that they can wear. We make little crafts that are combine colors and oils. They get to take Play-Doh that's their favorite color, and we put a drop of oil in there and we turn it into aromatherapy Play-Doh. I have sort of a journaling activity for older kids. I have a poster type activity that includes gratitude for older kids as well. So we have all these things, and then the kids get to go home with knowledge about their emotions and understanding their emotions, and some tools, constructive tools they can use. So I tell them to make sure that bucket that they're carrying around isn't quite so heavy all the time. They're getting those rocks and that sand out of that bucket. Because I tell them it's really hard to go outside and play and run around and do your homework if you're lugging around a heavy bucket of sand and rocks with you everywhere. And I tell them that eventually that bucket's going to spill. And what's that going to look like? And tell the parents, like, that's a tantrum, that's crying, that's what that looks like. So that's kind of the gist of what that workshop is, but it's usually pretty loud, pretty messy. There's usually a lot of glue, a lot of things to sweep up afterwards, but it's a lot of fun and the kids really enjoy that. So I've been going around different places. I've had a couple of them in my home, but it limits the size. So I've done it at a couple of community locations. But yeah, looking forward to bringing that to a lot of people. And I actually have another one scheduled, I think, for the first Saturday in June.
Oh, nice. All right. So how can people find out more from you? How do they reach you? How can they find out more about Be Empowered Wellness in these workshops?
So the main place is I have a public Facebook page. That is actually, I'm sure it's somewhere in the link, somewhere in here, but it is from when I first started out. And so it is not labeled Be Empowered Wellness on Facebook. It's actually Flow Mom. I live in Flower Mound, and so it's FLOMOM. I thought that was really cute at the time, but it looks like Flaw Mom, so I don't know. But anyway, so it's supposed to be Flow Mom, but that's the public Facebook page, and all of my events are on there. My workshops, my classes, in-person things, Zoom things are there as well. But from there, you can also join my Be Empowered Wellness private page. I guess it's a private group on Facebook. That is where I'm able to post links for classes, class recordings. That private group gives more in-depth information. And then there's always good old-fashioned email and texting, and all of that can be accessed. I think I've shared my email. And so you can reach out to me that way, message me on Facebook, and we can but my only social media right now is Facebook, but I'm happy with texting and emailing as well. So.
Nice. All right. So we will make sure that we have all of that posted around wherever this episode is posted. So it'll be on Ashley's Heart Song episode page, show page. It's also will be posted to my YouTube channel, Ashley Torian. And we'll always make sure that we have a connection to Amy through that. So that
and I also remember just now, I do have, don't laugh at me. I do have a website. The website is actually a portal to get to one of my Facebook groups, but it does you can send me an email through it, and it is bumblebewell.com. So that's kind of cute. Bumblebewell.com.
And well is WELL.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Bumble, B with 2 E's, and then well.
Awesome.
So that will get you to email me easily if you like to try that too.
Oh, that'd be easy. So we'll just put that link up there for everybody. Yep. Amy, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you for helping launch this Age Gracefully Part 4 around empowerment and how we can be empowered by taking care of our own health. So thank you. We are going to have some Q&A time with our live audience. So if you will just everybody hang tight while I end this portion of the show. But I am so grateful that all of you have been with us today for Ashley's Heart Song, all about empowerment. You can find us here every Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time on the Win-Win Women TV network that you can find on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also find me at Ashley Torian or Ashley's Heart Song on YouTube, where you can find more shows there. And as always, breathe, be, and just take one step at a time in your findings of your heart song. Don't rush the process of this life. Enjoy every little moment. And until next time, take care.